screen?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, yeah, good evening, everyone. You can see my screen now, right? Because I can't
Yes, we
see
do.
you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about the digital
Yeah, we
marketing
see your
trends
screen. Trends 2022.
Okay, yeah. So we're going to talk about digital marketing trends for 2022. Obviously, we're almost 2021 is almost done. We're almost right there. Burr months is coming up, and we need to be, as digital marketers, be ready on what's going to happen on for next year. So just to give you a little bit of good news, well, in 2022, digital marketing is here to stay. So we need to have ourselves a pat in the back for still surviving this year. And well, good news is we're still going to be on business up until we say so, whether we like it or not. And 2022 is a very optimistic year. And since everyone is online because of what happened globally. So before anything else, we need to know where the people are. And we all know that our demographic has been constantly changing, and it has changed dramatically, if not traumatically last year in 2020. And consumer behavior and consumer spending and even our mental health has changed ever since. And even our attention span, which from 5 seconds has been shortened to 3 seconds. So how we consume our infotainment and information online has been shortened. And of course, we need to consider the new generation of ourselves, the Gen Zs, who are really connected with influencers and social media celebrities as their models for in life. And like I said earlier, that ever since the pandemic began, we've all been so connected with each other, and communication is vital to us. And speaking out, listening, and even listening has been really important to us. That's why our strategy for next year should be optimized more on mobile. And our last point is that we need to be more transparent when it comes to our messaging, and we need to have that kind of empathy when it comes to selling. Because I know we need to sell our brands, but since the market has changed and the landscape has already changed, not everyone has that amount of money to spend, and we need to be more considerate when it comes to selling our products online. Any questions, guys? Hello?
Nah, not now.
Okay, sure. So our first trend is content marketing will be about content selling. I'm not talking about Cheryl's apartment. When I said content is just content in this presentation means all of the things that we put online, whether it's video format, photo, blog article, or whatnot. Excuse me, organic or paid, or even on website or SEO. Everything should be about selling. And this means that only means that content should be created to support sales processes because we want to help our clients. And in the perspective of the accounts management, we need to have the marketing team to have a very strategic approach to creating content, and should be aligned with not just the objectives of the company, but also with different marketing strategies that we have. Basically, the website, we have the SEO, we have the blogs, we have organic and the paid. And we need to consider how the customer journey spends. And I've mentioned this word to Sahand last week about having a synergy when it comes to this. And one of the things that we can actually do is more be consistent with brandings. For example, for La Porchetta, that's a really great they have a very strong branding when it comes to their content online. Um, even if we even if we change a little bit when it comes to our daily posts or our ads, people know that when they look at our content or our materials online, they know it's the Porchetta. So yeah, having a strong brand guideline really helps when it comes to online marketing and digital marketing. We also need to consider in 2022 that quality versus quantity still remains supreme, meaning it's not about the quantity of the posts that we do, it's about the messaging that we do. Because the internet is so oversaturated, it's too noisy that we don't want to be spammy all the time. That means we can still post 3 or 4 what call that contents per week, but you know, a daily posting without any kind of engagement is, for in 2022 will be considered something spammy. So we want to have more quality content, and we want to make and post them in a timely manner. So our second, okay. So there's a caveat right there. Content is still king, but it needs to be more simple. It needs to be more concise and more honest. Like I said, transparency is really important when it comes to be online, because there are a lot of fake news right there. So everything that we should do and everything that we should post online should have more accountability and more transparent when it comes to selling. And when I say selling, it's not the hard selling that we know. It means that we need to do storytelling. We are the modern storytellers, and we are the brand evangelists, should I say. And I agree with Kanika, what she said earlier, that when you post something online, it has to have the whys and the there should be answerable. Our content should answer and solve the problems of our customers. I'm not talking about just our clients. We're talking about the consumers, their clients, their customers. So we need to have a purpose. We need to have a strong purpose. We need to have the we need to explain and educate our customers with what we do. And with that, some examples that we are currently doing and will still be doing great in next year will be the before and after photos. That is something that is been a really credible content, even social proof. And some of the things that we also need to consider are user-generated content, such as comments, Google reviews, shared posts from our customers, and we also need to consider the micro influencers, which I think we had an experience with for quarter Q1, and well, fortunately or unfortunately, their customers will have an amplified voice in 2022. Now that everyone is online, everybody wants to have their own comment there, and they need to have their voice listened to. They need everything. They need to comment and everything. So we need to embrace this kind of change, and we need to use these to amplify our own voices, our own brands that we handle. Our second trend is become a thought leader than a seller. That means, like Kanika said, LinkedIn or B2B marketing is a good strategy. And in 2022, this is going to be another trend that we need to be aware of, because number one, consumers would want to be educated than hear another salesman knocking on their doors. I don't know about you guys, but we don't want another person knocking on your door selling another one, because on this day and age. So when it comes to selling right now online, everybody, or should I say, most of the people um, prefer getting that kind of information in different manners. One example would be an educational or explainer videos, which are, there has been a lot on YouTube. And I do agree again with Kanika, and based on my research as well, that blogging, vlogs, and podcasts will be having a renaissance in 2022. It will not only make or look not look it will not only make us look or sound like an expert on the field, but it also helps on the SEO in general. And also, again, transparency and empathy matter to consumers. So hard selling is so 2008. So we need to have more empathy right now. We need to have more heart on our marketing, especially now that COVID is still right there. And we need to be more sympathizing with what and how the consumer spends and behaves. So our third trend, I just wish Ivano is here, but being hyper targeted on advertising and more personalization on our content and on ads will be another major trend in 2022. As I've mentioned, the digital landscape has already been noisy. It's oversaturated with a lot of people, a lot of content. You don't even know how to consume them every day. So to avoid banner blindness, basically is something that you post something, but you just browse through it because it's I don't know, it's a fatigue, or you're just so used to looking at it every time. We have to stop making content look like a traditional looking ad. When I say traditional looking advertisement, it's too wordy. It's all of the information are there, because you can do that on a video format. So we need to be more creative. We need to be more challenging, and we need to be more up to date when it comes to messaging our contents and how our consumers can consume that kind of information that we sell. Second point would be is for us to personalize our messages. I know Sahand is working good on email marketing, and he's helping out our flooring client. And this is a great way. Email marketing will be a good thing again on 2022. But there's another note on that. We do not want to be spammy, because when you go to another person's inbox, it's already personal for them. This is a personal tactic. So again, you need to be more you need to put more empathy and more transparency in all of our messagings on when we do that kind of strategy. Another thing to stop banner blindness is to not to be more conventional. We can experiment what kind of format, ratio, non-standard sizes, colors, and formats on our content and our ads. I know Netflix has been doing that instead of the 1:1 ratio, which is kind of we're so used to that kind of ratio, the square one. We can experiment with a 5:4 ratio with a video. I've seen Netflix did that, and it ate up my screen. So basically, the attention is already there because it occupied my screen. So we can experiment those kinds of formats and that kind of ratio. And ironically, like I said, even if we need to hyper target all our messaging, our clients should know that there's no formula success in terms of what's the 100% that's going to be effective, because every client has its own identity. Every client has their own goal, has their own personalization. So we always need to test, because if everything is just in a form, is everything going to be workable in the formula, then we're not going to be here. Social media is a business, thanks to Mark Zuckerberg. So we always need to test, because we don't know where the customers will be at the next time. We don't know where the consumers will be on the next time. They might be on TikTok today. They might go to Twitter tomorrow. They could go to Instagram anytime they want. So we need to be more socially aware. I will always need to do testings, and we need to clarify that and to explain that to our clients, that testing is part of the process, and they need to trust us on this. And it's going to happen again on 2022. So our fourth trend. Oh, sorry. Another note on that. Ironically, when we do targeting, personalized targeting, which we actually are doing, I heard Google is taking out cookies next year, and there will be a lot of privacy and security issues that have been popping out now, and it's still gonna, there will be a lot of discourse about this topic next year. So the fourth trend is us to embrace interactive marketing. What is interactive marketing? It means that, it's not just about the static thing, or it's just a plain video that we see. It should attack the heart. It should attack our interests, our everything, our personality. And we're talking about games here. We're talking about questionnaires, polls, even the manuals, online contests, and interactive videos. These will be beneficial next year. And right now, events are starting to merge with digital platforms, and it will be again because of COVID. So next year, hybrid will be another term that we will be embracing. It means that there's a live, the platforms, or should I say the tactics that we can use to reach our audience could be about Facebook. Could be Facebook and Instagram Live. We can use all of those. Even TikTok, the Instagram stories, everything that's real time. This has actually been effective when it comes to online selling. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Lazada or Zalora. They have live selling events every month, and it has been an effective strategy for them ever since. So this is going to be this trend is going to continue next year. Live selling and live streaming. And then our fifth trend, which is the last, is our brands should engage with nonprofit organizations, because customers and consumers would want to support all of these companies that are beneficial to others, or even, of course, to their community. Not just them, but for the whole community as well, or even Mother Earth. For example, if we have customer CSR, or Cheryl, are you there? Hello?
Yes.
Yes,
CSR.
yes, CSR. Yeah, I remember when you
corporate social responsibility.
Yes, the corporate social responsibility. When I first joined in here, and we're talking about Ronnie doing the it really impacted me in such a way, because it was a genuine thing for him to help out during COVID. And it's not just me. I'm not even in Australia, but the way that he paid forward to others, helping out, made headlines locally. And this kind of genuine action really had a lot of engagement. So that's just one thing. That is just a minute thing. What if our brands have CSR angles on their brands? It would, it would definitely make them support the brand more, because they know that our brands have an honest mission, why they established their business in the first place. So it's not just about me. Now it's all about us in 2022. And again, we have to note that customers are more socially aware and they demand accountability. A lot of people are woke online, and they demand accountability when there's some injustices. They praise people or they engage higher when the community has a positive thing. Let's say, for example, for Olympics, when we won our medal, you know, every brand wanted to connect with that kind of angle, and they really had a really great engagement and really need a lot of support. But there's another bait right there also. So these kinds of messaging we can do in 2022. But we need to be more careful when it comes to this kind of strategy, because we don't want to abuse a nonprofit organization or an individual just because we want to profit. And lastly, so here's the sad part. It will be expensive, and our clients need to be aware of this. It will be more expensive in 2022. The fact that Google ads, the fact that we pay Google ads through bidding to be more effective, and even now our favorite client has spending a lot of dollars at Facebook ads, because it's not just today; it's going to happen next year as well. So also Facebook pages, Facebook has encouraged Facebook page admins to boost, or else we're not going to have great engagement. So they encourage people to spend more online, and the customers, or should I say, our clients, need to be more aware of this. That in 2022, when they want to be more successful in digitally, and with our digital efforts, they need to spend more, or else it's not going to work, unfortunately. So I think that's our report for today. See you all in 2022.